Hi, I'm Pastor Kurt, and this is your 5-minute Bible study. Today, we're going to look at Acts chapter 4, verses 1 through 22. Now, in the previous video, I talked about a scene when Peter and John helped this guy to walk again. In this scene, Acts 4, 1 to 22, Peter and John are basically put on trial for helping the guy. They get arrested for talking about Jesus. They get kind of thrown in jail, and then they get brought before the authorities, who basically question them, saying, tell us how you made this guy walk. Now, first of all, that sounds really strange to us. Why would they be arrested for helping somebody? Well, they were arrested not because they helped the guy, but because they were talking about Jesus. Okay, that's important. Now, talking about Jesus isn't a crime, but the powers that be then didn't want to hear about Jesus. They didn't want Peter and John going around talking about Jesus. Help people all you want, that's fine, but don't talk about Jesus. Well, Peter and John basically say, we're going to tell people about Jesus, and you can't make us stop. The authorities kind of have their own little kind of side conversation and think, well, if we tell them to stop, the crowds might revolt and they might have some supporters and we might get into trouble. So they kind of like hem and haw a little bit about what they're going to do with Peter and John. So they come out and tell them, they're like, okay, go about your business, go do your thing, but stop talking about Jesus, right? We don't want to hear any more about this Jesus guy. This is when Peter and John say, no, we're going to keep telling people about Jesus. You can't make us shut up. I wonder if Christians today would have that same type of courage, that same type of dedication, that same type of conviction to say, no, I am going to talk about Jesus. Here's an example. Okay? A lot of times, Christians will say, oh, I'm sharing Jesus' love by doing nice things for people. That's great, okay? Do nice things for people. Show them love that way. But they don't talk about Jesus. They don't use the actual words to tell people, hey, I'm doing this for you because of Jesus. They don't want to come across as pushy or whatever, right? Maybe they're too timid. I don't know, right? There's all kinds of reasons people have for not actually talking about Jesus. They're fine doing nice things for people, but they don't want to talk about Jesus. Maybe that sounds like you. Maybe you're fine giving a helping hand to someone, but you're kind of reluctant when it comes to talking about Jesus. Maybe you don't feel like you know enough, maybe whatever. For whatever reason, you're hesitant or cautious to talk about Jesus with somebody. You don't want to seem pushy. You don't want to shove Jesus down someone's throat, whatever it is, right? People have all kinds of reasons. But Peter and John here were like, we'll continue to help people and we'll tell people about Jesus. This is what sets the church apart, okay? Anybody can go out and do nice things for somebody else. You don't have to follow Jesus to do nice things for people. The thing that sets the church apart is Jesus. We do what we do because of Jesus. Now, of course, there are some people who kind of swing the other direction. They will talk all about Jesus, but they never seem to actually do anything to help people. Okay, don't go to that extreme of the pendulum either. Don't be all talk and no action. And also don't be all action and no talk, right? It's about both. We let people know we follow Jesus both in our actions and in our words. This is what Peter and John are showing us in this scene. These guys are willing to stand up and say, yeah, okay, I've been telling people about Jesus. Fine, if that's what I'm guilty of, go ahead and arrest me, right? I plead guilty to that. I will keep telling people about Jesus. And I will continue to help people. This is what the church is about. Yes, we help people, and we also tell people about Jesus. There's your 5-minute Bible study. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.